Stroll down South Elm Street in downtown Greensboro, and you may want to stop at Baked, where you will find the perfect sweet treat. So, Cameron, how did you get started in baking?
I've always had a passion for sweets. When I was little, going all the way up to college, I would always try to create my own little sweet snacks, make homemade Rice Krispie treats, homemade cinnamon rolls. So I actually took that into doing box cakes, and I was like, how do I actually make a real cake? I just wonder, let me see if I can just try to do it with the eggs and the flour and start from scratch. And that passion just took me into maybe I should go ahead and start just going to school for it. Because I always was working in the restaurant industry, but sweets was like my favorite thing to do. And then once COVID hit and the whole restaurant kind of, went down a little bit, I was like, maybe I should try this out. Let me just jump into it. And I went to school for it, went for a whole year for pastry arts, and then from there I just ran with it. I
love it. What is special about this place?
Baked is, to me, one of the best bakeries downtown, just throwing it out there. But we specialize in macarons, which is one of my favorite desserts. One of my favorite things to make. Is one of our specialties. So I can say we aim on the best baked goods, the best product, and macarons.
And those are not easy to make.
They are not. They are not. I've had to struggle going through school to make them, but I feel like I've gotten a step up on how to make the best ones. Mine are so smushy, so creamy, so soft, so crunchy all at the same time, and those things are the hardest thing to make. They're very fickle.
Yes, I've tried to make them. I definitely know. And what do you love about being downtown, about being in Greensboro, about baking?
Right. I love being downtown is the atmosphere. All the different type of guests that come in, all the different type of customers that come in. Every morning you see different people, and just being around those type of people and being able to bake them something that tastes great, that can have them go on through their day and not be hungry through their day. Have a little snack to go with it. And actually seeing people enjoy my sweets and enjoy the baked goods that we make really, really pushes me and makes me passionate about the whole thing.
All right, so go through your flavors of macarons.
Right now we have a couple of flavors, so it's a bunch of flavors that we have. My favorite I'll start with is going to be the blueberry, strawberry. We have a pink lemonade. We have Nutella. Sometimes we do coffee on seasons. We have cinnamon rolls. We have lavender, honey lavender, cherry. We also do try to do our own little macaron flavors, so we're trying to do different ones. I always want to try out like peanut butter and jelly, little things like that. But we have a ton of different flavors in here to try.
Do you get special requests, or do you take special requests?
I do take special requests in my head just so we can know what the guests might want later on. So it can be like a little surprise to pop out and give the guests something new to taste.
So if you come in here, is it a little bit different every day?
Every day, you have your basic things you have to bake. People want chocolate chip cookies, people want the macarons, so you have your basic ones to make. But coming in and having to make the big orders for like big companies or big orders for big businesses, that's what really pushes me, because I like to bake fast and bake a lot of stuff, so that kind of helps.
Check out Baked in downtown Greensboro, 227 South Elm Street, right down the alley, or online at bakegso.com. In the mood for a colossal cupcake? Head to North Elm Street and check out My Sweet Little Bake Shop. Dee Dee, how did you get started baking?
Ooh, that was with my mom. So my mom was a huge baker. We used to bake just as our gifts for people, which was really fun. We would bake for our neighbors. It was how we would take all of our holiday gifts to people. So we were big bakers, so very much with my mom.
So when did you decide to turn this passion and this giving that you did into a business?
Oh, that was a long time ago. This is my dream. I've always wanted to do this, but I needed to save up enough money and work. And so I have been working and saving for years to be able to open this beautiful shop.
And I understand you don't have a book that people actually pick out the cake they want, right?
Nope, everything is custom. Somebody just walks in and they either say, hey, I saw this, and they show us a picture. Or, hey, our theme is this, and they give me design rights. And they say, just create me something that's Minions, or create me something that's Batman, or create me something that person loves butterflies. Okay. And then I get to create anything I want, and it's provided them as a surprise, but everything is custom.
Okay, do you have like a favorite or something that has stood out that was just super fun?
I've done some fun sculpted ones. Somebody ordered Gizmo, and so that one was super cute. You wanted to almost hug him because he was so squishy looking. I did a beautiful butterfly fairy princess for a little 6-year-old's birthday, and that one was pretty. Her dress was all butterflies. So again, it was just, both of those were just somebody giving me a theme, and it was like, ooh, what can I create? You know, the thought of me being 6 or being somebody getting that cake, and that's really what we're trying to like give, is that excitement.
Talk about your flavors.
So our flavors change out. So when it comes to cupcakes, our flavors change out weekly. We post on Facebook, Instagram, and our website every Sunday night what the new flavors will be. Anything that is a cupcake, obviously we can make into a cake, and then we also do traditional cakes, Italian cream and things like that. But everything is custom. We don't have a set. Like, people are like, hey, I went out to your website, I can't see your flavors. We don't limit. We try and say, hey, give us what you're looking for. Can we make it? If we can't, then we'll let you know. We'll let you know what we can do, but we don't like to say we only do these things. Now, we may take us a little longer if we don't have the ingredients and we have to go get them, but we still try and always make it work.
And there's some that you always have, a few flavors that are always in the case, right?
Yes, so when it comes to the cupcakes, we always have banana pudding because it's a fan favorite, and we always have vanilla because you always have to have a baseline, and we always have a version of chocolate, but you can do so much with chocolate, we change it up every day.
You opened last summer of 2020, so right at the height of the pandemic and things were shut down. How did you keep it going and survive?
So it has all to do with this great community. I have to say it is fantastic. The people have seen that I was getting ready to open. No one can ever plan for something that happened with COVID. The community saw that I was open. They started spreading the word. They started coming in. So again, that's why I was so grateful. I opened here for such a hard time, and people have been absolutely wonderful.
Well, we wish you much success. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
See something you just loved? Check out My Sweet Little Bake Shop online at mysweetlittlebakeshop.com or visit their location on North Elm Street. You'll know you're in the right place when you see the pink stripes. You're going to feel like family when you visit Savor the Moment Bakery in downtown Greensboro, and the family favorite here, the Crunch Cheesecake. Tanya, how did you get started in the bakery business?
Actually, we started as a home bakery. So for 5 years, my mom and I, because we like to cook, we like to bake, and she had retired, and she was also a widow, so she moved here from Florida with our family. And we just started baking on the weekends. We would do First Fridays, and it was kind of just, when we felt like doing it, we would do it. And then one of my clients from a previous business that I had was retiring from baking, and she owned a bakery. And she called me and she said, I think her name is Mrs. Crawford, Teresa Crawford. And she said, I think you would be great for this bakery. And it was one of those opportunities that was almost too good to pass up, because she left like all of the equipment, phone number, everything. And so all of the inventory. And so that's kind of when we decided, that was in 2017, to open a storefront. And it's kind of still making history since that. And we just moved here in January from Coliseum Boulevard.
So this is a whole family affair, right?
Absolutely, yes. So it's kind of all we know, because before we actually had this business, we were a homeschool family. So we were always like stuck with each other like all day anyways. So it's really no different. We're just kind of in a different space that we're all together. But what I love about it is an opportunity that my kids are learning business, and entrepreneurship is so dear to my heart. And so for them to get the skills that they're getting here, it surpasses like any frustration of having to be stuck together all day, because I know they're getting life skills that they will always have no matter what it is they decide to do. They may not want to be in a baking business, but it will all translate in their future. So that's what excites me.
What are some of the favorite things that you make here that customers come to you for?
So we're mostly known for our crunch cheesecakes. That is like our primary thing. Everything else is kind of just extra, but the crunch cheesecake is a creamy cheesecake that has like a cream coating that has a crunch topping on the outside of it. We have 13 different flavors. We put our toppings on them once you order them, so you can get a peach cobbler crunch cheesecake or banana pudding crunch cheesecake or a strawberry or chocolate or, oh, it's just lovely. And so people really enjoy that. And it was at the beginning of the pandemic that we introduced it, and it really helped our business. It helped save our business, to be honest with you, because we would have points where we would literally have the parking lot full where people were waiting. But we do frappes and milkshakes and smoothies, so we have a little bit of everything. We carry Homeland Creamery ice cream, which is the best, right? So we use it for our milkshakes, and we also try to bring in local businesses that don't have a storefront necessarily. So we have like teas, we have a candle company that has things here. We feature about 4 different local authors that have books here, and we're always trying to help people in the community as well.
What would you say is the most rewarding part about this business, your job?
Like what I said earlier, as far as being able to give my kids the tools that's going to help them to be successful in life. Also being a part of the community where people can see, you know, if she can do it, we can do it too, kind of thing. And I think that really has an impact. And I've had a lot of people come to me and they even say how it encourages or inspires them that we're here. And so that's the rewarding part. So, yeah.
Want to try that crunch cheesecake? You have to visit Savor the Moment Bakery in downtown Greensboro at the corner of Friendly and Davie, right across the street from the Cultural Arts Center. You can also find them online at savorthemomentbakery.com. Looking for a sweet treat with an extra kick? You have to visit LuchaLibre Ice Cream. Martin Ortega is the owner of LuchaLibre Ice Cream. Why did you start this?
Por mis hijos, quería yo un negocio donde...
He said because of his kids, he wanted a company where everybody could be here as a family. The ice cream is so innocent, anybody can have ice cream, right? So family, right?
Wonderful. Why LuchaLibre?
¿Por qué lucha libre?
Queríamos un concepto...
Since he wanted a Mexican culture theme, art, but he didn't want the tradition with the mariachi or the margaritas. Wrestling does not come from Mexico, but the symbol of the mask does. So anywhere in the world we see somebody with a mask, you can match it up with Mexico. So it's a pure Mexican culture.
And the ice cream you serve here is not ordinary at all.
Aquí no es normal.
No, es totalmente artesanal. Cada sabor de helado.
So everything here is natural. The ice cream is a handcraft ice cream. Every recipe of ice cream, it took us approximately 4 to 6 months to create each. Everything is made here freshly and naturally.
And you bring a whole lot of fun to your recipes and your presentations too.
Dile que estamos...
He's at a part of his life where money is cool, it's nice to have it, but he sits here at his table and he observes all of his restaurants. You see multicultural people enjoying what he created.
I love it. Tell me about these photos.
Coméntale de estas fotos, por favor.
Claro que sí.
So he basically wanted to discover something for the Latin American culture as superheroes. For us, the superheroes is not Iron Man, it's not Captain America, it's not the Hulk. For us, it was the wrestlers. For example, in the 1950s, El Santo was one of the top wrestlers. He made movies. El Santo versus the mummies, El Santo versus the werewolf, El Santo versus the vampires. And it's a poster in France where he's also recognized. So he's recognized internationally in Cannes, France. So he's recognized internationally. This is something recognized internationally. And then the mask in Mexico symbolizes good and evil. The people that are masked good versus the people that are masked bad.
And when you have some ice cream, there's a little bit of good and a little bit of bad at the same time.
Tienes helado, es algo bueno y es algo malo, ¿verdad?
Exactly. Look, tenemos los...
We have the spicy ice cream. Those are the bad ice cream, you know. And the sweet ice creams are the good ice cream. Yes, a fun fact, all of our products have a wrestler's name.
I love it. And you can have some of both. A little good and a little bad.
Puedes comer los dos, ¿verdad? Algo bueno y algo malo.
Yes. Dile que todo lo transportan a otra dimensión, cualquier sabor.
All of this transports you to a whole new dimension.
Absolutely. What is it like to have your business here in Greensboro? Why is it good?
Primero porque aquí nacieron.
First off, all of his children were born here in Greensboro. Besides, he wasn't born here in Greensboro, he's from Greensboro. It's where God brought him, it's where God told him to start your family here. Everything he is, everything he has, he owes it to Greensboro, North Carolina. He's super happy to be here. That was also a discussion. People were telling him, go to go to Atlanta, Miami, LA, big cities. But no, he wanted his hometown right here in Greensboro.
Yo quería mi ciudad.
And we're so glad you did. Thank you.
Aquí.
No. Thank you. Gracias a toda la gente que nos ha aceptado como.
He says, no, thank you guys for accepting him and his culture. It makes him happy that people can accept his culture and vibe in it also.
Visit LuchaLibre on West Market Street near the Super G. They open every day at noon. You can also follow them on social media, LuchaLibre Ice Cream and Churros on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. When does a bakery do more than satisfy a sweet tooth when its mission is about changing lives? Welcome to a Sweet Success Bakery. Jennifer, tell us, what is a sweet success?
A Sweet Success is we're a small bakery. We have a small operation, but we're a part of Sanctuary House, which is a local nonprofit that works with adults with mental illness. So the bakery actually uses a job training program for members to get skills to help them get jobs in the community. So we are a full-fledged bakery, and we're also a job training program.
When and how did you get started?
Well, it's before my time, but the bakery has been around over 10 years. It got started, they had a bake sale over at Sanctuary House, and it was so popular, people were calling and asking when they could buy the items again. So they decided, instead of doing a thrift store, that they go the bakery route, and so that's how the bakery began.
So you've been here 7+ years.
Yes.
And what have you seen? What do you love about this place?
Well, the fact that we're helping others and the ability for us to be creative. We work with we work with other nonprofits as well. We work with a special blend, a little coffee shop, so we work wholesale with them. We also work with Harris Teeter at Friendly Center. And just the amount of people that have come in here that we've been able to help and watch their skill set grow, it's been really amazing.
And people love the sweets you make too. I mean, that's the other thing.
Yes, we've become extremely popular. There was a lot of shift once COVID hit. We were mostly doing wholesale orders, and now we're mostly retail orders. So we're doing more custom cakes, weddings, graduations, everything. So.
And you can really be creative, and you can see actually your customers, which is really fun, I imagine.
Very, very nice. And a lot of times they'll share pictures at their parties where they're enjoying their cake, and they'll let us know how much they appreciated them. So it's very nice.
Oh, I love it. So what are your kind of specialties here?
Well, we're mostly doing custom cakes now, but our most popular cake that we have is a strawberry layered cake. It's a cream cheese pound filled with fresh strawberries and whipped cream, topped in a buttercream. That's our #1 seller as far as our basic cakes, but we do a lot of custom cakes, a lot of birthdays.
I see so many cool decorations that you have done for birthday parties. I mean, for little kids to teenagers to all the way. Yes, I love it.
We just did a cake for a 100-year-old, so from 1 to 100, and baby showers.
What is it about Greensboro that you think that particularly makes this work?
Well, it's a pretty good sized town, but it's small town enough where everybody knows everybody. So a lot of our customers come from word of mouth. They're at a party and they see our stuff and then they order from us. So it's really nice that it's small enough that it's easier to kind of get your word out and build up your reputation in the community.
Do you have a favorite thing that you make here?
Baking wise, the easiest thing to make is the pumpkin chocolate chip, which is actually very delicious. That's probably my favorite thing to make. It's very, very good. It sounds a little different, but it's delicious and has cream cheese icing. It's actually my daughter's favorite cake. They always want them for their birthday, so.
Start your order for custom cookies, cupcakes, or a cake at sweetsuccessbakery.com. Looking for delicious keto and gluten-free treats? You need to head to Oh Goodness in downtown Greensboro. All right, so take me back to the very beginning. When did you learn to love to bake?
Well, I've always loved to bake, but really got into it when we had children and just started baking all their birthday cakes, just all the normal mom kind of things. So I always had a love for baking.
So when did it turn into, okay, I'm going to do this for other people?
Well, really that's been more recently. I mean, honestly, just people saying, hey, well, will you do a cake for us? And we got into keto about 6 or 7 years ago. And so when we would go to functions and things like that, I would always just take keto things. And then people would say, oh, well, those taste great. You don't even know that they're keto or sugar-free or gluten-free. And so that's just kind of how that all started.
So you opened right in the middle of the pandemic, but there was this massive amount of interest right away.
There really was. It was crazy. I really thought this was just going to be this fun, I'm going to have this cute little bakery. I'm going to bake a few days a week. And, but it was nuts from the get-go. And I think some of it was just everybody was ready to support something new and something positive in the community.
But it's also the uniqueness of what we do. I'd say it's more that because there is no one else that is all keto, all gluten-free.
Right.
Like everything that people will come in, they'll say, well, what do you have that's keto? And we just point at the case and we're like, it's everything. Well, what do you have that's gluten-free? Again, the whole thing. Really, they're trying to be health conscious for one reason or another. Maybe they're diabetic and they've got to watch their blood sugar. Maybe they're dieting for weight control, or maybe they're gluten intolerant, because of celiac disease or whatever. And so, they've had to do without some really great tasting sweets. And then they come in here and they've got choices, and that's just, wow. And it's fresh and you can't tell.
Right.
So.
And so how did you get started in this? What was it, a health thing for you guys?
It was. We needed to lose some weight, to be honest, and we just did some research and found the ketogenic diet. And we thought, well, we'll give it a try, and we were very successful with it.
And it's been about a year now since you've opened your storefront. And what has it been like? And how does it continue to grow and inspire you?
Well, it's been crazy, but it's also been a lot of fun. It's very rewarding, like he said, to see people come in. I love it when kids come in and, if they have type 1 diabetes or something like that and they can't go to a bakery. So to see them come in and just light up because they can get a cupcake is just very, very rewarding.
And what's it like working husband and wife together?
Well, I'm not always here.
Yeah.
I have a day job.
Yeah.
So like I said, she kind of handles the baking and the day-to-day operations. I'm more of everything else, HR, handyman, you name it.
He does it all, yes. So,
accounting.
Yeah, and in that sense, it's great. But I'm more of a free spirit, so I just want to, bake a pretty cupcake or whatever. And he's like, wait a minute, how much does that weigh? How much frosting did you just put on top of that cupcake? Because as you can see behind us, it's really important that we provide all of the nutritional information and carb counts and everything like that for our customers.
It's got its own, nutritional breakdown because that's what our customers are concerned about. They want to know what's in it. They want to know what the macro counts are. And, we want them to have that information because really that's what sets these products apart.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite?
Oh, goodness. Well, right now, the lemon bars are my favorite. They have officially made the cut, so that's my favorite. He would choose something.
Oh, mine is the carrot cake cupcakes, without a doubt. Like that, those carrot cake cupcakes are the best carrot cake I've ever had. Not just keto, but the best. And I've heard that from lots of other people, customers that have come in as well. So, yeah, that's hands down mine.
So mine changes depending on what I'm making from week to week.
Yeah. The only bakery where everything is keto and gluten-free is in downtown Greensboro at the corner of Elm and Gate City Boulevard. Oh Goodness Bakery. Check them out at their storefront or online at ohgoodnessbakery.com. When you want something sweet and decadent, nothing beats a cheesecake. And no one does it better than Alex. Alex and Marissa, Cheesecakes by Alex. How long have you been here?
Going on 20 years now. We opened up in December of 2002.
Oh, wow.
Long time.
And how did you get started making cheesecakes or baking, I guess I should say?
Well, my mother-in-law who lived with us at the time, she just wanted something sweet one night. I pulled out a cookbook, made a cheesecake, didn't like it. So I spent the next couple of months after I had some neck surgery home making my cheesecake. And that kind of led to this, Wasn't planned, it just kind of happened.
So what took you from making it for your mother-in-law to opening a storefront?
Well, we started out, we thought it'd be a good hobby, so we wanted to go to the farmer's market, which we did. And we found out at the farmer's market, since we had pets, we couldn't operate out of my home. So that led us to find a kitchen. So our little spot next door where Simple Needs used to be was available. It was already set up. We took it with no intention of going retail. We just wanted a place to bake. And it kind of just went from there. We had people knocking on the door. We started opening in the evenings after work, and it kind of took off from there. Yeah.
And so you started with just cheesecakes?
We had 4 flavors. Yeah, my neighbors looked at me like I was crazy, but we had 4 flavors of cheesecakes, no coffee, no pastries, and we started baking. Yeah.
But it took off. People loved those cheesecakes.
It did. I had to leave my job within 3 months. Everybody loved the cheesecakes. Once we left our job, we were here in the morning, so it's like, okay, well, we need something to go with it. That was the coffee, and then we started making recipes for muffins and scones and all that, and kind of, the customers dictated everything we did. They wanted to be here later. We were here later. We added more desserts. Yeah, one thing led to another.
Okay, so you started with 4 flavors. How many do you do now?
We do 23 right now, including we do gluten-free and we do sugar-free as well. Right.
Okay, and not just cheesecakes, of course, as you mentioned.
No, Lord. Cakes, muffins, cookies, brownies, biscotti, yeah, all the above.
Okay, so I have to ask, do you have a favorite?
Key lime has always been my favorite. I just love the tartness of it, the sweetness of the cheesecake. So that's that one and carrot cake are my 2 go-tos if I have dessert.
So downtown Greensboro has really been your home since the very beginning. Why is this such the perfect spot for you?
Originally it was just out of convenience. We had the market down the street. In 2002, there really wasn't anything happening down here. You could take a nap in the middle of the road. But as it developed, we had a customer base, regulars that were coming in. We got to know the community. Things started happening downtown, so it became home for us. And then after 20 years, it is home for us. We're just part of downtown, and we're real honored to be part of that organization, that group.
Okay, so what's next for you?
Well, we just opened Winston back in September, so we are downtown in Winston on Trade Street, and so now that's kind of our goal, is to get that store up and running, and then who knows from there.
Stay tuned. Keep it sweet. Thank you.
Thank you.
Find Cheesecakes by Alex on South Elm Street in downtown Greensboro. They are open every day of the week. You can also find them online at cheesecakesbyalex.com. A retired nurse found a sweet new gig at a small batch bakery on Battleground. Check out Easy Peasy's Decadent Desserts. Debbie, how did you get started in the bakery business?
Well, it's funny because I am a nurse by profession. I'm not a baker. But this was my favorite bakery to come to, and we celebrated my daughter's engagement, birthdays, weddings, deaths. Every time there was an occasion in our family, this was the place we came to, and the staff are so good to us here. So when the owners decided they wanted to sell and move on to other things, I was like, can't you keep it till I'm tired of it? And they were like, no, we're ready to go. So I said, I think I might want to buy the bakery. And so I did. And even though I'm not a baker, I've learned how to make about 90% of everything that we do here. But we have such a great staff, and most of the staff that were here have been here all along. They have taught me how to bake, how to make things, how to work on the front counter, because we have a very small staff, and if somebody is out, I'm usually the fill-in person. So they've been absolutely great to teach me what they know. They're all so professional, so competent. They're all our people in the back kitchen. I like to think of them as not just bakers or decorators. They're really cake artists. They've made the cakes that are here, and we have people send pictures of cakes that they'd like to have, and I always think they come out looking better than the picture that we receive.
So what are your specialties here? What do people come especially to get at Easy Peasy?
We probably sell more cupcakes than anything, and that's really what got the bakery started when it opened. It was a cupcake bakery with some other sweet treats. But we've kind of expanded that out, and COVID really kind of helped us in a way because we were able to remain open part-time because we started doing bread and offering rolls and doing things that people couldn't find in the store. And for a while we were changing up what we were offering. It felt like every 2 or 3 weeks, depending on what people were looking for. But we really started looking at, let's do more than just cupcakes and the things that have always been traditionally done. So we do some cakes by the slice, but we do more cupcakes. We do brownies, we do cookies, stuffed cookies. Now we're doing whoopie pies and all kinds of dessert bars. And we still do the French macarons because that was kind of a trademark of the bakery, and not a lot of people were doing macarons when this bakery opened. So we kept that. We kept everything that was here when we bought it and then added to that.
Has it surprised you how much you have learned and how you have become not just an owner, but part of this business?
It has. It really has surprised me. And I always said when I retired from nursing, if I went back to work, it was going to be doing something 100% different from nursing. And I really did fulfill that by doing this. But it's so enjoyable. And I like to see kids' faces when we make a birthday cake, or a bride when we do a wedding cake. I just love to see people be happy because they've gotten a dessert that's pretty and it tastes great. And that makes me very happy, and I think that motivates the staff too. Everybody really loves what they're doing. It's really important for them that every dessert goes out looking great and tasting great and making people happy.
Find out what they're serving and what's special at Easy Peasy by following them on Facebook. Just check out Easy Peasy Decadent Desserts. If you like dessert with a southern flair, you're going to want to visit Double Oaks Bed and Breakfast in the Westerwood neighborhood, where they serve desserts made by Black Magnolia Southern Patisserie. Vinay, how did you get started baking?
It's kind of just something I've been doing for a number of years. My grandmother, she baked in the kitchen. I baked along with her. And then professionally, I started baking about 10 years ago.
And what was the first thing you started baking?
Oh, let's see. I worked for Anime Southern Bread Company many years ago. I was making her grandmother's yeast roll recipe, and so that was my first foray into professional baking. And then after that, I was a barista, and I really wanted to get into baking. And so the bakery I worked at, I got to work my way up into working as a bakery assistant, and then eventually left the bakery to bake at another location.
So how did you get started in your own business?
Well, during the pandemic, I just had my daughter Amelia, and I was looking at not going back to my job at the country club, and I decided that, something on the weekends, kind of just started making cinnamon rolls, and it kind of grew into what Black Magnolia is now.
All right, so tell me about the name.
Well, it was something that I wanted to represent me, and then I thought that, it would be a little bit of it's something that's strong and something that's feminine. It's a little southern, and also, I do have a love for baked goods. It's southern or French, so it was kind of a culmination of all those things.
Okay, so the cinnamon rolls. This is really what has gotten a lot of attention.
Yes, very much. The cinnamon rolls was just something I started doing on the weekends. It was actually Machete was doing these fantastic cinnamon rolls, and I couldn't get one, and so my husband just reminded me that I am a baker by trade. So I went and started making some on the weekends. And it's kind of just grown into this now. I had my award-winning cinnamon roll that I entered into the Pillsbury Neighborhood Donation Contest for the Bourbon Banoffee roll, and so that cinnamon roll really put me on the map. And so we've been doing our classic cinnamon rolls and our Banoffee rolls and a number of other specialty rolls, and so it's it's really it's put us on the map, definitely.
That's great. So are you working? You're here at Double Oaks. Is this your main kitchen?
Yes, I'm working primarily out of the Double Oaks now. I actually provide some baked goods for them for their Wednesday wine night menu, as well as their seated menus for Thursday and Friday. And, kind of just a collaboration of different things. We have a Sunday brunch pop-up, or we have Burrow Coffee come along, a little startup coffee company in Greensboro. And so their brunch, my baked goods, Burrow's coffee. And so it's a really neat little partnership we got going on.
Okay, so where else can we find your baked items?
You can find them at the Green Bean daily, Monday through Friday, or excuse me, Sunday through Friday. Oh gosh, how many days a week? You can find them at the Green Bean weekly, and then also we have them at Cafe Europa. I do a bi-weekly pop-up.
Okay, great. And people can order from you, of course.
Yes, you can order me special order. I need about 2 days heads up for turnaround time, but other than that, just give me a call.
What do you love about baking? I mean, what keeps you going with it?
Well, I mean, it's just something I've always loved. It's kind of a little, I don't know. It's something I've loved since I was a childhood, and it's something about creating something from start to finish and all the great smells in the house, and then also just, it's really making people happy. It's something that everyone enjoys. It's creating a nice warm memory, and so that's my favorite part of it.
And what has it been like having a business in Greensboro?
It's been really neat. So I'm learning a lot, and so, I'm still a new kid on the block, and so I'm learning a lot of the ins and outs, and, networking is very important, and so I feel like I'm getting my footing in there, and so, we're starting out slow, but we're definitely hitting it.
And you said you have a little one at home.
Yes,
does she do some sampling?
No, not too much actually. She's allergic to eggs. I mean, so she can have things that are baked and everything, but I also try not to give her too many sweets and stuff. So, we'll see.
The shoemaker's child doesn't have shoes.
Yes, exactly. So it's fine though. Her first birthday cake, we actually did like a no sugar, no egg deal and everything, and she enjoyed it. So. And
what is your favorite thing that you make?
Oh man, probably pies. I would say pie making is just, it's a zen form for me. Like I enjoy it. There's something about the dough and then like combining the filling and then just the perfect slice once it's set up perfectly. So I love pie.
For now, you can find Vinay's sweet treats at Double Oaks or at Green Bean. Soon she'll have her own shop, so stay tuned for that. You can follow her on Facebook or check out her website, blackmagnoliagso.com. Have a special teacher in your life or a friend that you just want to give the perfect sweet something to? Well, you need to meet Angel because she makes the ordinary apple anything but. Angel, how did you get started in making sweets? I mean, when did you first start and find a love for it?
So, my great-grandmother, she was definitely a baker. She was a cooker and a baker. And so she taught me to bake cakes and cupcakes. So I went to work, took some cupcakes to work, and they were a hit. And so then someone said, oh, you should start selling them. So I started with cupcakes. Then I moved to cheesecakes. And then one of my friends, we took a class on making other treats. And so that's how I got into the candy apples, popcorn, Rice Krispie treats, pretzel sticks, and just all types of other things.
And that really took off for you.
And that took off for me, yes.
And so when did you decide you were going to start really, putting yourself out there and selling these treats? And
so I would sell them on the side, and my sister-in-law, she has her own business. She's a real estate owner, and she was saying, hey, you should get your LLC. You need to get a logo. You should make a page. And so that's what I did. And when I did that, it started on social media, and it just kind of took off from there.
Okay, and so now what are some of your most popular items?
Right now, popcorn, flavored popcorn, banana pudding popcorn, red velvet popcorn, candy apples, and cupcakes are the favorites.
Tell us what makes them special.
Because they're different, they're cute. They're cute for pictures on the table, and they taste good. So now candy apples have evolved. When you used to go to the fair, it was just that blood red candy apple.
And you couldn't even bite into it.
And you couldn't bite into it. So now you can add colors, you can add flavors, you can put sticks and straws in them, and kind of customize them for the customers.
Now, what do you like about doing this?
Seeing the outcome. Starting from a regular green Granny Smith apple, and then at the end seeing what it looks like at the end. So I like that. That's cool.
And do you do all kinds of things special, all kinds of occasions?
All kinds of occasions. Birthdays, just because I have a sweet tooth, weddings, mostly birthday parties and celebrations, anniversaries, things like that.
You can get in touch with Angel and get your own sweets by going to Facebook. Check her out at Angel Sweets and Treats.